Assalamu alaikum. This is Basma. So long time no see. So I'm giving a little update. Have the 4 videos of you guys. I believe I showed those videos maybe a year ago. I think it's almost a year ago. If not, maybe it's almost close to a year ago. I think I posted my last video. So what's been going on? Last you guys seen is that I was homeschooling and everything, and I'm not sure if in my last video I had stated that I was putting my boys back in school. So I will speak about that experience and what's going on and everything in regards to that. So I did put my boys back in school. First off, the reason why I decided to put my boys back in school because I have received questions to why I'm not homeschooling anymore. So I'm not homeschooling anymore because I started school. So I'm in school full time, and I also worked. Around that time I worked. So I'm coming more towards the end of my nursing program. I've been accepted into the nursing program, so that's why I decided to put my boys back in school. And being in that program and working, it's a lot. So that's a reason to why I put my boys back in school. So that experience, I put my boys back in school, and my oldest, he did fine. The school I put my boys in was a charter school. So I figured it'll be a little bit better, than the public schools, because in the area where I live at, the public schools are horrendous. Like, I can't tell you how much worse. It's worse than horrific, whichever you want to call it. It's horrible. The schools are horrible, okay? So I figured maybe a charter school would be a little bit better. It's a little bit better, but then it's not much of a difference. It's not much of a difference as far as, the children that it goes to the school. That's for another even topic about that. But, yeah, so my three boys, actually it was 2 of my boys because I have one that's in pre-K. And the charter school, they didn't have a pre-K program. So it just started at kindergarten until I believe it goes to 8th. Yeah, it goes kindergarten 8th. So I put my 2 boys into the charter school. My oldest, he did fine. He did fine throughout the year. He had his struggles. Mind you, while my oldest went to school, they test in this particular charter school. They'll test the boys to see where they are. So they knew that coming in that they were homeschooled. So he was tested in. He got maybe on his test, maybe one question wrong, so he's placed wherever he needed to be placed in his grade level. And my second son also, he was tested. He was placed also in his grade level. So 3 months going by into the school year. Around this time, it's been a lot of changes that was going on. So my boys, they're not really used to being in school. My oldest, he was in school in kindergarten and pre-K. After kindergarten, I pulled him out. And I'll give another reason about, my whole homeschooling experience, why I decided to do it in another video. But this isn't the video to talk about that. I also have questions about that. I will get to that. So, months until it was about maybe 3 months. My second child, I pulled him out. My oldest son, he would deal with things a little bit better as far as other children. In the city where I'm at, I think it's everywhere. It's not even just a place where I'm at, because I'm in a major city. And my oldest, he's a little tougher. He can kind of deal with, handle kids, if they bother him or whichever. My youngest, he's never been to school. He's been maybe in pre-K for maybe not even a month, and then he was pulled out. He didn't want to go to school. So this is his first experience with being in school and being around other kids. And the way that the kids are, my children, they're really soft. They're not aggressive children. And yeah, and it was just a total shock, on the differences with, the experiences that they were having being around other kids, because homeschooling, you have control over who your kids are around. So of course, I'm not going to have my children around other kids who curse, who are bad kids. I mean, the difference between bad kids and kids being kids, but no. So my second son, he was bullied. I didn't know at this time. I thought it was, around this time other things was going on. So I thought in particular that was the reason, like him missing his father. I thought that was the reason to why, it was mornings he'd get up. He wouldn't want to go to school. I'll see him in class. He sits there and he's not interested. And I thought, maybe he missed his father. Maybe, he just like whatever with school. So, and I would ask him every single day, how was school? What was going on? Can you tell me? And I'm always open to my children expressing their feelings and emotions to me about, what goes on in school. So, I would get from him that every day he'll say to me, Mom, it was good. Oh, it's okay. I would get that. And then he finally told me, what some of the kids, how they would act to him. And he thought he'd have friends and the friends would turn on him. And mind you, at this time he was 6 years old. And he was in the first grade. And yes, they're this young, and children are bullying and being mean to children that young. And all I ask is for the parents who do put their children in school, if you ask as many questions, listen to your kids. Even if your kids is telling you that they're being teased, or oh mom, could I have the new sneakers because I'm being teased, or oh mom, I'm being teased by whatever it is I'm wearing. Always think that there could be possibly more behind that, because a lot of the times it is, and we may think it's something and it's really not. And it could go both ways. It could be you think it's something that's overly, dramatic of what it really is, but it may not be happening like that. But either way it go, don't back down. Just try to pay attention. And I'm happy that he did tell me. I'm so grateful that he did tell me, because I did pull him out. I pulled him out of the school. And my son, my first son, my oldest son, he continued until the end of the school year. He didn't have those issues. He had one boy that was messing with him, and he told me, and I told him what to do, and he did it, and he never had a problem out of the kid again. He never had a problem out of any of the kids in his class, so, or in his grade or anything. So, and my oldest son, he's very open with me. He tells me literally everything that goes on. The kids, their names, everything that goes on in the class. If the teacher, he tells me everything that he does, whether it's good or bad in his class. The teacher knows the type of child he is. So, and alhamdulillah, if someone try to say, he's a horrible kid, he's this, he's that, she'll even defend his character, because she knows that that's not who my son is. So, that's a plus. And of course, I know how my son is, because I taught him, and he's my baby. So you're not gonna tell me how my child is. Sometimes kids be different when they will go off to someplace else. They go to school, they get different. But my son, he tells on himself. So that's the part of being honest, right? He tells on himself, good or bad. And I always tell him, you better tell me the truth. I better not have to find out how something else went from somebody else, because that makes it worse, and I couldn't believe you. So yeah, anyways, so that was that experience with that. So will my son continue to go back to that school? No, he's not My oldest son is not going back to that school. None of my boys are going back to that school. So my son, my oldest son, he's going into the 6th grade this year now. So I'm going to homeschool him, inshallah. The area where I'm at, there is, including charter schools. I would never put my kids back in the charter schools. It don't matter what it is, charter, public, private, they're all trash to me in this area that I'm at. So I am not looking forward to putting my kids back into any of the schools in the district that I live in, completely at all. I will be homeschooling him start into his 6th grade. My second son, he's going to be in the 2nd grade. He's going to be homeschooled as well. My baby, he will be going into kindergarten, so he's going to be homeschooled as well. So I'm just going to make all this work. That's my alarm clock, because you know what? It's Ramadan and it's Suhoor, and of course, oh, that's my alarm clock, yeah. And that was the time for me to wake up to remind myself, but I had never went to sleep, so that's how I end up giving these videos to you guys. Okay, gotcha. Alright, so that's what's been going on with me and my boys lately. So inshallah, I'll be able to bring back another video to you guys. If not soon, I'll be just watch out. I'll bring out some more videos, but I definitely have a lot more to speak to you guys about, as far as homeschooling, and as far as even myself, what I've been doing during the past year. I told you guys that I was in a nursing program. I also speak about that, things how I've been dealing with things, living like a single parent, living like a single parent. And if, we need this, right? So inshallah, this will help someone, my videos. And then alhamdulillah, thanks for watching my videos, you guys, and thanks for not being so tough on me, okay? Assalamu alaikum.